Hey, gun people. Omaha cops think they're special. All government thinks they're special. That's why government feeds on government. You know, who's in charge? The feds, the state, the locals, the sheriff. Who's he elected? The mayor. No, the city council. No, the board of supervisors. No, they all want power. So, evidently, there's always been this judge kind of, I'm in charge. This is my courtroom. I can hold anybody in contempt. I can do whatever I want. I'm above the law. In my courtroom, what I say is the law is the law. The law doesn't really matter. Only what I say is the law. That's the problem with judges. Too much power corrupts absolutely. In Sacramento, when we were plainclothes, we had to check our guns in at the courthouse. Even to go get a warrant signed, it was a pain in the butt. Even though we were on official duties, we were a cop, we were working. They don't allow cops to carry guns in the courthouse in Sacramento unless you're in uniform, on duty, in uniform. So in Omaha, this judge says, I don't care if you're on duty or not. I got courtroom security. I got guys that I control that work for me with guns. Therefore, I don't want anybody else having guns, including cops in uniforms. So a couple of Omaha cops said, we ain't testifying, we ain't disarming while we're in uniform. We're not walking in there without our gun. And cops are it's kind of a culture about guns and badges, and, you know, that's why administrations love to, you know, when they want to mess with you, you need to turn in your gun and badge. And then, you know, and so somehow they feel, okay, we've stripped you of your power. It's kind of like the old Branded movie where they rip your rank off your shoulder, they rip the patches and make you walk down a wall of shame. They do the same thing to cops. They just say, give me your badge and gun. Give me your ID card. You're no longer a cop. You no longer have special privileges of carrying a gun. Only the chosen few that government decides. So this judge says, hey, you ain't carrying guns in my courtroom.
Testify in court were prepared to walk out in handcuffs rather than hand over their firearms.
It's no different than, asking somebody to testify in the nude because a police uniform is too intimidating.
The police union and its attorney stood ready to react if Judge James Gleeson decided to throw armed police officers in jail.
Both of the officers were not going to disarm under any circumstances.
Knowing that, prosecutors never called on them to testify because it would violate Judge Gleeson's no guns policy.
One side believes that they are only going to testify with their weapons, and the judge says no. That's got to be resolved.
Is it frustrating prosecuting a case when your witnesses are here ready to testify, and in this situation they can't?
Well, of course it is.
Prosecutors asked Judge Gleeson to hand off the case to another judge so the officers could testify without the risk of going to jail. Judge Gleeson denied that request.
So what the judge is doing is he's saying, no, it's my courtroom. The case is in my court. I'm not going to reassign it. You're going to play by my rules. I'm a liberal left-wing loon, and I don't like guns. Therefore, I don't think cops should carry guns. Now, there are going to be some people saying, good, cops think they're special. Cops shouldn't be. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but then to have hired guns and other government guarding your courtroom, it's okay for them, but it's not okay for others. That's the problem with liberalism and socialism. The people at the top get to make the rules. The people at the bottom have to follow it. And the people at the top get to ignore any rules they make. So, this is just typical liberalism gone amok.
We want to proceed with our case, and we feel like that was our avenue to take, is to get a different judge.
Judge Gleeson also denied our request for an interview. We did obtain an email sent to him from the National Center for State Courts offering this opinion. It's the NCSC's best practice that no one other than law enforcement assigned to secure the building should be armed.
So they're kind of siding with it. And again, government doesn't trust government. And people think cops are government, and they are. And they fall by the rules and they follow orders. But, government doesn't want the military getting too independent and powerful. They don't want cops getting too independent and powerful. But you can't take away the liberal power. You can't take away a judge's power. This is one of those, I'm not sure what the right answer is.
He's limiting the ability of the prosecutor to prosecute cases.
Do I feel safer with a police officer in this courthouse with defendants walking around, I do, but my personal opinion doesn't matter.
Are you
She had to say that because if she pisses the judge off every time she goes in front of that judge, he'll rule against her. Doesn't matter what the truth is. Doesn't matter if someone guilty goes free or someone innocent goes to jail. If she pisses off the judge, every time she goes in front of him, he's going to rule against her every chance he gets. Because everyone thinks judges are so great when they get a robe. They're just freaking lawyers that knew somebody to get them in there.
worried that his rule is going to let bad guys go free?
You know, potentially. But again, there's a mechanism for voters to hold the judge accountable if that's the case.
Now, if the voters do not reelect this guy because of his gun stance, that's, people's always saying, what do we do? How do we do? You hold liberals accountable. You vote them out of office. You don't vote for them. You don't support their policies. You fight back against liberalism everywhere you can because it's a cancer and it's going to destroy every country it seeps its way in. All right, we'll end that there on who's right or who's wrong.